We've got some lovely Christmas fabric. Christmas is coming. And much as I hate the fact that it comes really, really early, it's getting close now. But this is the Christmas fabric designed for cushion covers.
I like that.
It is rather gorgeous, but nobody knows what to do with the three that are down the side, especially as one's upside down.
Oh yeah.
Those two seem to be a pair, as if you want to fold them in half and make a little baby cushion out of it. But who wants a baby cushion? So I had a better idea. I made a shopping bag or a gift bag. So I've used the big panel on one side, the other big panel on the other side, but also two of the little panels as pockets on that side.
Oh, that's really cute.
And then I still had one left over and I thought it looked a bit daft on the outside. So I popped it on the inside. So
Love it.
You could, if you wanted to, actually put a little zip in that one to make it something secure if you were going to use it as a shopping bag. But I think it's probably better as a gift bag. So there's two designs in it. The one I just showed you and the other one with snowmen on it. This is the snowman panel.
Oh, he's too cute.
Or what?
Love him.
So I cut the whole thing up. It comes with lines already on it. This is how the panel comes to you.
So you know where to cut to make these?
Yes, absolutely. No messing around. The white lines. So all the little panels come off. The green piece at the bottom comes off. Put that aside. We use it for the handles. That leaves you with these two. I don't normally bother to cut that off because you're only going to sew it again. So you might as well leave it and hide the white line in the stitching. I'll show you how in a minute.
Okay, so how long does this whole bag take to make? Is this a quick, easy bag?
This is a very quick, easy bag because the cutting out is so simple.
Okay.
And I'm a lazy sewer, as I'm sure a lot of you know, so I'm devious. Even to the extent that even though I have to sew on green, I've used red cotton throughout. Because let's face it, red and green are the Christmas colours. So it doesn't look odd when you sew a green fabric in red if you're making a Christmas item.
Well, you make like a feature of the
Make a
stitching.
feature of the stitching. That was quite a mouthful, wasn't it?
A feature of the stitching. I like that.
So what I've done, I've cut this one up. That's the front and the back. And like I said, I've left them together. I'll fold that away in a minute. Then I've cut separately all the little panels. The next thing you need to do with those is edge them, because those edges need to be folded under. So here's one I prepared earlier. I've just folded them under double.
What have you used to hold it?
Well, I started with pins and I thought, no, I like these fabric clips. It's just so easy. So I clipped the corners. It keeps it lovely and flat.
Oh, so the bulkier bits on the corners, you've used the fabric clips.
I could just take the pins out now and just put another fabric clip in, or I could press it and then it would hold itself.
Okay.
You know, I really do hate ironing.
So use more clips instead of ironing. I like this.
But I did do some ironing because this was half of the green strip at the bottom. I just cut it down its width. Used it whole, cut it down its width.
Okay, and that makes the right size for the handles?
That makes the right size for the handles. If anything, they're a little long. We can always trim the end off if you want them a bit shorter.
Okay.
So this is where I did get the iron out. And I pressed the two edges in. That one and that one. If you sew right sides together, you've got to turn it out. A lot of work. Lazy sewer, remember. So I then folded them in half. Like so. Put my fabric clips down it. And I've top stitched where the edge is. And then I've top stitched down the other side to match it. So what you see is that. In fact, what you see is that.
Oh, brilliant.
Because that's the one I prepared earlier. I love that phrase. I could have been the blueprint. Right, meanwhile, so we've prepared the pockets. We've prepared the handle. You'll have two bits left over, by the way. Really big they are. That's all you get left over from the whole thing. And maybe a little bit of green if you shorten the handles. Very good for checking the tension on your sewing machine before you start. Just sew a little bit just to make sure it's sewing nicely. Right, so then we put the pockets on. So I'm not going to put the pockets on that would be stupid. I'm going to put the pockets on that. And I'm not going to
because you're going to see through the pattern. Yes, okay, good point.
I'm not going to stitch through both sides either, so obviously I have to open that up. Now, I'm going to cover the bottom by folding this fabric up. Quickly checking which side I did it. Yes, that side. So I have to position them a little bit up from the bottom, that bottom line. and a little bit in from the outside. So one is going to be about there. The next one, which I haven't sewn or pressed even, is going to be about there. Right, I'm then going to just stitch down those two sides. I don't need to stitch across the bottom. You can if you want to, don't need to, but just down those sides.
Why don't you stitch across the bottom?
Because the next thing you do is to take this piece of fabric, fold on the white line. This is where the clips are a bit in the way, so I'm going to whip them off for a minute.
We'll just pretend that's been sewn on.
Pretend that's already been sewn and the clips are off. Overlap the bottom there,
Yeah.
and then stitch across there.
Oh, okay. And that stitches the bottom
That
neatly
stitches
for
the
you.
pocket in, it hides the bottom edge, and it reinforces the hem of the bag. I actually go across, when I've got them both in there, I actually go across twice, and what you end up with is that. Stitched up there, double stitching across there. You've already stitched the top of that down, so that's reinforced, so you can put your hands in without any fraying edges. Then I put the edges in. Now I do that on the other side.
Okay.
So imagine those...
So you're always working with the fabric the right way out, aren't you?
Yes.
You're never
Yes.
working inside
I'm
out
never
with this
turning anything
technique.
inside out because I'm lazy.
Okay.
Shortcuts. Right.
These are good shortcuts.
I like shortcuts. So they're all stitched on. Let's pretend for a minute. Right. I then pick it up, turn it onto this side. Now that will be turned under there because it's got the pockets on. So I'll put a couple of fabric clips on there just to hold it. Oh, that's a big one. We do big ones and little ones.
Oh, that's good. So if you've got bulky fabric that you're working with, there are a larger size.
Don't need it for this one. Right. At this stage, I'd probably trim the top. It may be that I've just not folded it neatly. I might not need to. But then I fold these edges in twice.
So over and then over.
Over to hide the raw edge.
Yeah.
Right. And then over again to butt onto the, cover the green line up. Right. So same thing again that we've just done on the other side. Stitch it twice, up and down each side. Then all it leaves to do now is just fold the top in again twice and put the ready prepared handles in position. Do one side and then match the other one up. So what you've done then is you've stitched twice up there, twice up there.
So 2 lines of stitching.
2 lines of stitching, partly for strength, partly for effect. It's a bit like the side seam on your jeans.
Oh, I get it. Yeah.
That's what it looks like. Right. And then turn the top under again twice to hide the raw edges.
So you turn the top before you put the handles on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And you would turn the end of the handles. Seems really weird, but on the right side.
Okay.
Because when you put them in, you want the right side on the outside, and the bit you've just turned goes on the inside.
Ah, that makes sense.
So you never see that raw edge. It's stitched in again.
And it's hidden.
2 lines of stitching. So that is there. 2 lines of stitching, 2 lines of stitching, and that is a very easy. I can probably get those cracked down to about 15 minutes.
Oh, that's fantastic.
But that's because I've done a few of them.
Yeah.
You'll probably do it in half an hour, unless you're an expert sewer, in which case you'll do it quicker.
Quicker than your 15 minutes.
Yes, and I'll hate you forever. I
Fantastic.
won't really. Oh, but I forgot the good news. I didn't actually mention these are actually £2.50 a panel.
Oh, wow. So this whole bag will cost you £2.50.
Yes, and it's 100% cotton.
Oh, brilliant. So it's going to last.
Even better.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll see you again.